Today's topic is apical diseases of the teeth. So, any irritant which reaches the pulp and the root canal area, it causes the inflammatory response in this area, and ultimately this inflammatory response will pave way to the apical region, hence leading to apical lesions. Okay, we will be seeing what are the symptoms, radiographic feature, classification, and in detail about 5 types of apical lesions. Okay, so coming to the symptoms. Symptoms, either it will be asymptomatic or maybe symptoms will be present. So symptoms ranges from sensitivity on chewing, tooth elongation like feeling. You feel that the tooth is elongated, that type of a feeling, or it may be an intense pain, swelling, fever, malaise. So these are the symptoms. Radiographically also, either it will not be evident or there will be a bony resorption. As here symptom may or may not be present, radiographically also based on the severity, either it will manifest in the radiograph or not manifest in the radiograph. Then coming to the classification, there are totally 5 apical diseases. Apical diseases are classified into periodontitis. Apical periodontitis is just an inflammation of the periodontium. Okay, and there will be abscess, apical abscess, that is a purulent exudate collection in the apical region, or it will be condensing osteitis. This case will be seen in the low grade infection. Okay, so apical periodontitis is further classified into symptomatic and asymptomatic. An apical abscess is classified into acute, sudden onset, or it may be a long-term chronic infection. Abscess. Okay. So condensing outlet. Totally 5 types of apical diseases are there. Okay. One by one we will see in detail. First is apical periodontitis. Symptomatic. So symptom will be present. Why the symptom arises? Sometimes the pulpal diseases will extend to the apical tissues. Okay, so this is the tooth. The pulp will be there. If this infection is confined within the pulp itself, there will be no pain. So if it is extending to the apical region, this may cause apical tissue to inflame. So it's called symptomatic apical periodontitis. Or in some case you do a root canal. In that case, when you are instrumenting, when you are doing BMP, biomechanical preparation, what happens? The instrument may extend beyond the apex. In that case, it will act as a irritant to the apical tissue. So over instrumentation, or it will be obturation beyond the apex. When you are doing a root canal filling, it will extend beyond the apex. So in that case, you will have a symptom. Okay. Sometimes excessive occlusal trauma. Example, bruxism. It may also lead to symptomatic apical periodontitis. So the tooth can either be vital or non-vital, which will be found by the electric pulp testing. We have to do an electric pulp testing. So when the electric pulp testing is positive, it is vital. If it is negative, non-vital. Okay. So most of the symptomatic apical periodontitis will have a slight pain on tender on percussion will be there. When you tap on the tooth, you will have tender on percussion. Okay. So if it is a vital tooth, you need not do any advanced treatment. Rather, you can do a occlusal adjustment that will relieve the pain. If the EPT, electric pulp testing, is negative, it's non-vital. So in that case, you have to go ahead and do a root canal treatment. If you are not doing a root canal treatment, it will lead to apical abscess. Okay. And then in the apical abscess, there will be an intense throbbing pain. So what is the explanation of the pain? The area of expansion is very less in the pulpal region. Hence, there will be more amount of pressure in the nerve endings. So hence, there is a pain. Okay. Histopathologically, you will be having a localized inflammatory infiltrate in the periodontal ligament. The second apical disease we are going to see is asymptomatic apical periodontitis. So far we saw symptomatic. Here we are going to see asymptomatic apical periodontitis. In asymptomatic apical periodontitis, it will be a long-standing infection, so there will be a bony resorption in the apical region when you see radiographically. Why there is a bony resorption? Because the endotoxins in the pulp will reach to the apical region, which causes demineralization of the bone, hence causing apical resorption. In this case, asymptomatic, there will be no symptom or there may be a slight tender on percussion. Okay, clinically how you will see, there will be no symptom or a slight pain, and then apical radiolucency will be present. Electric pulp testing will be negative, that is non-vital, the tooth is non-vital. In the histopathological form, either the asymptomatic apical periodontitis will be in the granuloma form or a cyst form. The third apical disease what we are going to see is the acute apical abscess. So why the acute apical abscess is formed? Because whenever the two conditions, whatever I said, symptomatic apical periodontitis, asymptomatic apical periodontitis, if it is not treated, okay, if it is not treated, then it will progress into acute apical abscess. Radiographically, you will see either it will be normal, relatively normal, or there may be a slight thickening of lamina dura. Slight thickening of lamina dura. Okay. Signs and symptoms. In the acute apical abscess, there will be a rapid onset swelling, severe to moderate pain, and tender on percussion will be there, or there will be tender on palpation also. There will be slight increase in the tooth mobility. Okay. So, how we can differentiate from the periodontal abscess? So, this is also abscess, periodontal abscess, but how can we differentiate from acute apical abscess? We have to see the tooth vitality by EPT and also by periodontal probing. If the periodontal probing is positive, more than 4 mm or 3 mm, and also the EPT is negative, then it would be a periodontal abscess rather than an acute apical abscess. Histopathologically, you will see a central area of liquefaction necrosis which has a disintegrating neutrophil and cellular debris surrounded by macrophage lymphocyte plasma cell, and the abscess cavity may or may not have the bacteria. This is a fourth type of apical disease, chronic apical abscess. This is also a purulent exudate collection in the apical region, but chronic. So, since it is for long term, what happens, this abscess will find a way to drain. That way is called sinus tract. So, the abscess will drain either intermittently or it will be continuously draining via sinus tract. Okay. Sometimes it will not have a sinus tract, rather it will be draining through the gingival crevice or gingival sulcus. So, when the chronic apical abscess is draining via the gingival sulcus, it may mimic as a periodontal abscess. So, what you have to do, either you have to do a electric pulp testing. So, if it is positive, then it will be a periodontal abscess. If it is negative, it will be a chronic apical abscess. Okay. If it is positive, it will be a periodontal abscess. So, you can differentiate between periodontal abscess which is draining via the gingival sulcus and the chronic apical abscess which is also draining via the gingival sulcus. Okay. And then radiographically you will see a bone loss in the apical area, and the treatment of option is root canal treatment. There is no separate treatment for the sinus tract. As soon as you do a root canal treatment, automatically this sinus will be relieved by itself. The fifth one is the condensing osteitis. Condensing osteitis is asymptomatic, and you will see a mineralization increase in the apical region radiographically. Why there is a mineralization? Because it's a low grade infection. Okay. In this case, you need not require any root canal treatment or endodontic procedure. So, this is the overall view of apical diseases of the teeth. Thank you. If you like the video, kindly subscribe to the channel Dental Shorts for the further new videos. Thank you.